Happy Monday, Striver. It's a pretty special one. Today, it's my birthday. And so, I still wake up on my birthday and I think of you. I think of how I can bring some joy into this world. I think of how I can hopefully inspire you to make self-improvement a way of life, even on this special day. I want to thank you for being part of the Growth Day community. It's something awesome to wake up and to think of you. To think of somebody out there who's striving for a better life, who wants to make a great difference, who cares about how they treat their family, who wants abundance of health and wealth and joy and happiness and fulfillment in their lives. And man, I just think it's cool that we're here in this moment. I've woken up pretty much every day of my life since, I'd say about 20 years ago, and thought of you, thought of each of our struggles, thought of what it takes to live a good life, read a lot of books on it, did a lot of pioneering research on it, filmed 20 plus online courses, shot a lot of videos, have been viewed now 500 million times, did 4 posts a day for about 15 years here. I've been busy at this and it's been my life's work. And so even on my birthday, when people say, what would you like to do on your birthday? I think of, I'd like to do my life's work. It's my mission. It's my passion. I'm not good at anything else. And the truth is, I truly enjoy this. This is my art. This is my communication, my expression. This brings me such great happiness. And I never get weirded out by being in a room alone with just a microphone talking through these daily fires, because I know you're there. And this is a blessed opportunity to be speaking with you. I know that you might be one of our strivers in well over 80 countries, I think it is, around the world now. I know that you want a better life, that you can enjoy this life as you have it now deeply, and yet still strive to become stronger, more resilient, more focused, more disciplined, more happy, more loving, more creative, more fulfilled. We all want to have even more in the future. And it doesn't mean it has to steal away from our presence today. I can have grand ambitions for my life and the next stage of my life, and yet still be in this moment with you, smiling ear to ear, baby. That's just truth. That's a beautiful part about us, and something we always have to master. Being here in the moment now, striving, satisfied, joyfully, gratefully, fully present, giving our best, showing up our best, and still knowing there's better days to come. We'll get stronger, better, more capable, more beautiful. We'll grow into who we are destined to be. And I believe if we do that intentionally, we end up being a lot happier. Now, if you didn't know it, I have a podcast, and it's called The Brendan Show Podcast. And that's a podcast where literally it's just some of my best of recordings from my YouTubes or my podcasts or my live stage presentations or our 20 plus online courses or all the internet training I do. And yet I did a special one yesterday. I hope you'll go listen to it. It's the latest episode of the Brendan Show podcast, and you can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts. I just talked about updates in my life, some kind of big updates, frankly, that even on my birthday weekend, talking about, hey, I just moved to California, and I share all the details about that only on that episode of the Brendan Show podcast. So go check it out if you want to know details. I usually don't use the Daily Fire to talk that much about my personal life, but since it is my birthday, I just like to share the big 5 lessons I've learned in my life. First and foremost, the big lesson I've learned is to live with intention. If you ever followed me on Facebook, one of the 5 million folks there, you know that my tagline is live, love, and matter. Something that is an intention of mine, fueled by the realization as a 19-year-old kid that at the end of my life, I'm going to ask, did I live? Did I live vibrantly and fully? Did I love openly and completely? And did I matter? Did I make a difference? Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? That is my daily intention now for, 2021, 21, 26 years. I can't even believe it. Oh my goodness. So I feel like when you wake up each day and you have an intention, mine's to live and love and matter, it just motivates you and keeps you focused. It makes you remember your mission or your purpose. So I've taught, literally millions of people around the world to pick 3 words of their intention each day. Mine's live, love, and matter. And I just go at it. I think about those things. Even if each day everything doesn't align towards that, at the end of each day, I ask those questions. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And the nights that I can say, yeah, I did. Those are the nights I feel the most fulfilled and I sleep the best. So I encourage you, what are your questions? At the end of your life, what questions do you think you'll ask to evaluate your life? I always ask that. Second big lesson is to bring the joy, to realize that we are in command of our thoughts and our emotions and feelings much more than we think we are. And as we learn more personal development, we get to craft more of our emotional, enduring reality. Does not mean that everything is positive. Does not mean everything is easy. Does not mean everything is happy, happy, happy 24/7. It just means that we can guide our thoughts and our emotions throughout the day to architect and craft the emotional reality that we want, especially over a long period of time. Doesn't mean you have a bad day. It just means you can bounce back better when you are in command of it. And you have to teach yourself how to do that. That's one reason we are all in lifelong personal development, I know. But when you learn to bring the joy into social situations, when you bring the joy at work, when you bring the joy with kids, that means you're taking responsibility for your energy and trying to create a great experience for yourself and others. Next, honor the struggle. Third big lesson in my life, you got to honor the struggle. There's going to be a lot of them. And boy, have I had them. Oh my goodness. Looking back over these 45 years, I've had plenty of struggles from where I grew up to how I was treated and abused and beaten up and bullied to, the good and the bad, to brain injuries, breaking most of the bones in my body, to starting companies, having people steal, having good things happen, having bad things happen. Oh my gosh. You just got to honor all of that as part of the process of life. You got to honor the struggle. Even when it's really dark, you got to go, you know what? This has been placed before me to teach me something, and I will utilize this to develop greater strength or empathy or service or better decisions in the future, and not get hung up on hating yourself when there's struggles. Because if you hate yourself or overly judge yourself when you're struggling, it takes a lot longer to pull yourself out of it. Next, I learned, and this is kind of a cheat, but I'd say the next big lesson I learned was the high performance habits. You have here in Growth Day a free course that we gave you when you signed up, a $300 online course called High Performance Habit Builder. And it's like a 6-hour deep dive training on how to reach high performance in an area of your life. And it teaches you the habits that research has shown leads to long-term success, positive well-being, and an extraordinary quality of life because your positive relationships are intact. In other words, it shows you how to succeed long-term without wrecking your health or your relationships or your mental health. And those lessons, and you can read the book as well, High Performance Habits, those were a big aha to me. We spent a tremendous amount of time, energy, effort, partnered with tremendous researchers who really helped us learn that. And I had some big ahas in writing that book and hopefully living it. And those 6 habits, which by the way, form the core of your daily life scores and your weekly life scores here in Growth Day. When you click the life score section, those are research-backed assessments. Those aren't just fun little quizzes in some personal development app. Those assessments and the importance of those assessments, we spent millions of dollars in research on those. Those really matter. And that's why we have you score on a consistent basis and get recommendations to improve them. So yeah, big lesson for me is those 6 habits. Whew, I focus on them. I score them a lot. And again, you'll score them in the weekly review section of the life scores. Let's see. Yeah, another big lesson was that framework I'm teaching in Growth Day all the time, that after we have all achieved, safety and sustenance, what we really want in life, everybody, whether I'm coaching, a billionaire, or I'm meeting my neighbor, or hanging out with, somebody at one of my events, or out on the road, or in the airport, someone comes up and talks to me and says, hey, my gosh, I'd love to ask you these questions. I can share with you, we all want the same three things. If you've ever seen me draw this as a triangle, you might know where I'm going with this. That the three things that we all want, with something in the middle, and the first thing is we all want more aliveness. Aliveness. You might call it vitality. You might call it enthusiasm. You might call it presence. You might call it consciousness. You might call it awareness. But it's that vital edge, that vital enthusiasm, that positivity, that energy that you just love when you have it, that vibrant health or focus or moment where you're in flow and there's just an energy about it. You know what I'm talking about. We got to learn to create that. We got to master our mind and our habits and our health in order to get there. Another part of this triangle is connection. We all want greater connection with ourselves and, most importantly, with others and the moment. Our connections with other people is what is ultimately the biggest tell to your longevity in life. The higher quality of relationships, not only the longer you live, but the happier, and yes, healthier, and yes, wealthier you live. You got to deepen the quality of the relationships that you have in life. It's not about numbers. It's not about volume of friendships and family and deep, meaningful relationships. It's just that you have them and you're always cultivating them. Third part of that triangle I've learned is we all want meaningful pursuits. Take away meaningful pursuits from someone and you take away a sense of what others might call mission or purpose, but what ultimately becomes satisfaction or fulfillment. It's hard to be fulfilled if we don't have meaningful pursuits. Even that just means today, being a good mom and getting the kids out to school alive. If that's meaningful, that's meaningful. People often in the social media world, they think it has to be these big, huge things. And I'm like, not really. This daily fire today is incredibly meaningful to me as it is every day. Now, if you drew out this triangle, aliveness, connection, and meaningful pursuits, in the middle of that triangle is growth. Learning that we must keep growing to be happy. It doesn't mean we can't be happy. It just means to continue being happy, we must sense a feeling of momentum or growth or progress in our personal and professional lives. And that's the stuff that gets me up every single day. People are like, how do you keep doing this, man? I know it looks like a lot from afar. I know it does. It's like, working on my 7th book right now. I filmed 26 or 27 online courses. I go live every single week or every single month since 2009. Think about that, how far in advance we were of, most people learning the live online experience. We've been doing it for a really long time, and had the blessing of personally replying to probably, near 1 million people, and having the blessing to see, I don't know how many millions of people out on the road at the large seminars and events and conferences I've done over these past 20 years. But what I can share through all of that is that growth imperative, that drive to keep learning, to stay curious, to explore our world, to develop greater mastery or competency, to become a better role model or parent or leader or contributor or creator. That growth imperative that I know is what brought you here to this exact moment right now in the Daily Fire. You want to keep getting better. And you know what? I friggin' love you for that. I love you for that because I get up and I feel a space of love in my heart each day because I know there's people like me out there. I know I'm weird and I'm geeky and I'm a little overly enthusiastic and people say I'm a little too loud and maybe I gesture a lot when I talk, but you know what? I love this. I love learning, and I love learning with you. I love hearing about how you use Growth Day when you go leave a review. And, people have been asking, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, well, could you maybe go leave a review if your Growth Day, if you're listening to this, could you go leave a review in the App Store somewhere about what you like about Growth Day? And that means a lot to me. Just seeing people have an experience where they love our journal, or they love the plan section, or they love the challenges, or they love watching the live teaching, or they love the community and Growth Day. That just gets me going, man. That just makes me feel blessed to know that this isn't just me in some room here, but this is having impact out there in this world. Because that's, I really believe, the last great lesson we all learn in life is that whatever we do in our life, we have an impact, whether we're conscious or unconscious, whether we chose it or didn't choose it. It happens. It happens. And so I say, lead. Understand your energy and how you treat other people and the positivity or the energy you put out in the world. People feel it, and it is like a ripple effect through your destiny that you get to choose. And I love it. That growth imperative, that role model mindset, that desire to learn and add value, be of service to other people, whatever you want to call it. I just know it's part of that, meaningful pursuit. I'd say those are the big ones. Again, I share some personal reflections, some related to some of these things, and other information. People are like, why'd you, weren't you in Portland? No, didn't you live in Puerto Rico? No, wait, you're in California. I'm confused. What's happening? I kind of share the whole genesis and the story through the last couple of years of where we've lived and why we chose it and how much we're just enjoying this adventure at this stage of our life. So hop over to the Brendon Show podcast if you want to listen to more personal stuff. But I hope that these lessons also helped you. I would love to hear what you have learned. What are your big 5 lessons in life? Maybe you can go post it in the community. Or if you just want to keep it for you, use this opportunity and these cues as a moment to hop into your journal and just capture my big 5 lessons in life. Because maybe someday you'll do a podcast like this on your birthday, or maybe you'll never do it and you just want to share it and capture it for your own lessons so you stay as intentional as you can. I want to thank you again for listening to this Daily Fire. It means a lot to me. I know a lot of the reviews in the App Store mention it, and honestly, I don't think we saw that coming. So it means a lot to me to know that you're out there and that you're striving along with me, because we both know that every day is a great day to grow, even on your birthday.